Let's have the most fun we can during the last couple weeks of the summer here before I die. The reason this group is so awesome is because you guys are so supportive, so we can help a dog like this build its confidence. If this dog can walk around like this 3 times and not growl or bark or attack or feel scared or anxious, the dog's now learning public school is fun. Off. That's all right.
It's okay.
And just keep walking.
Okay.
Yeah. Down. Good. It's pretty much an 8. And just press it until you get there. Down. Now for me, part of that is this dog is relaxed, having a good time. That dog does have a little like baggage. You know, it's like I'm kind of walking around the same way. If I walked around like, I don't know about you, by the time this one notices me, there might be a reaction. Also, we've noticed that this dog, because it has only one eye, sometimes if it like sees you, then it'll almost become a little triggered. And if you notice, if you would have walked maybe over here, perhaps, like the dog may not have even cared because it really can't see, and now it can, and I'm away. I'm already 5 feet by the time it notices. I think you might have just gotten too close. Every dog's got a little threshold bubble around it. Yeah, all day long. Keep going though, and do a circle around her. Yeah, just do a circle like you're a shark hovering, and then tell Blue to sit. This will be good for you too. Good.
Down. He's following me.
What you're gonna want to do is wait until he commits to the sit, and then tell him down. If he's like, I'm still trying to sit, and then you give him another command, he's like, see, you're negotiating again. You gave me 2 options.
Okay.
She had a shot yesterday, so she's old.
Good job, hey. But it's like just enough even where you can let the dog kind of, hey, and then I'm gonna just keep it right here. But you have to be that, you know, that kind of pivot center, so that way you can let the dog kind of get a little close.
And be able to control.
Yep. So she's going into a down, your dog's yawning, going, all right. But it's the littlest, it's that pop, it's that, I want to say hello.
Right.
You know, it's the dog isn't ready for that, how's it going?
Right.
That's the dog popping, going, and I want to say hello. So that it's not ready for the handshake.
Right.
It's ready to just kind of come over and be like,
I'll stand by you, but just don't, yeah.
how's it going, guys? I see you guys are all talking in this group. I'm gonna join it, but don't ask my name. Don't ask me to participate in the conversation. I just wanna like be around other people, and this seems like a safe group. But I mean, when you think about human beings, would everybody here feel very confident to teach whatever you're good at, right? If you're a teacher, whatever you do, would you be confident to get in group class, sit in the center or stand, and for like 10 minutes talk about what you do for a living? How many of you like would love to do that versus not love to do it? Would you love to do it? You don't want to be the center of attention for 10 minutes? What about you? What about you? What about you? What about you? You? It's a good thing nobody's gonna have my job then. You? You? Nobody. So none of you want to get into the center and talk about what you're good at or what your job is for 10 minutes. The same way, not all dogs want to be super friendly and social and charismatic. Like the dream dog that you have in your mind is definitely not the dog that you bought or rescued. It usually will never match up that way unless you get a golden retriever. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
They'll always be the same dog. But once we have that dream of I want my dog to be this way, then we transfer those expectations to the dog. Well, get to know the dog before you start going, you know, I had one child and he became a doctor, so we had another child, I was hoping he'd be a doctor. It's like, he's a theater major. He's not a doctor. He's gonna be on Broadway. He'll be a famous actor. He's not a doctor. Gotta get to know the dog and then figure out what their strengths are and then maximize them. But not every dog wants to say hello or be super personable. Some dogs want to be friends with everybody. Some dogs want to roll around on the grass and that's all they want to do. Some dogs want to just stare at their owner because they love them so much. Every dog's different. That dog's loving that white balloon. Feels like we're in American Beauty watching the plastic bag. It was a great pop culture reference for anybody who caught that.
Yes.
But, you know, you got to get to know your dog and then you know what you should do with them. You know, if your dog loves the beach, go to the beach. If your dog loves the paddleboard, go paddleboard.
So,
Forgot I was holding leash for a second.
So if you have, so you're walking your dog.
Yeah.
And the other people's dogs obviously want to come up and say hello. Then what should the reaction be when you have a dog that's kind of timid?
So stay right there. I'm going to be the guy who wants to come up. Let's pretend I've got a retractable leash and my dog's already coming towards you. What is your job as the Secret Service to do right now when you see a threat with a terrorist on a leash?
Right.
What are you going to do? Walk me through it.
Okay, I'm going to put him in a sit.
Okay.
And I'm going to put myself between.
Okay.
But he's going to be growling and carrying on.
How do you know that?
Because he's done it. I've seen it.
But we're now trying to prevent it. Right. So where he might have been growling, do you usually, when you see the person here with the leash, are you now doing that? Or is the dog growling and then you go into lock it down, everybody, freeze, position? Or do you go, I saw him, off, sit, we're good? What happens first, the reaction or you preventing the reaction?
Probably the reaction happens first, yeah.
It's easier to prevent the bomb than to clean it up afterwards. Right. The explosion is never fun. So also, it's the concept of the second that you see this, actually, we'll go back to questions. What else should she do if I'm walking up to her with a retractable dog on a leash and her dog's about to get scared and anxious and reactive? What else would you do?
Ask them not to approach you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell the dog owner, sorry, my dog's not friendly. It doesn't want to say hello. It's in training.
Right.
It's actually scared of other dogs.
Right.
You have to project. You guys may not want to speak in group class, but you damn well better speak when you're by yourself with your dog and a stranger's coming up. The same way, if I'm walking down an alley by myself and a dude's coming towards me, I'm going to speak up. Kevin Hart style. Hey, this is my alley. That's all I got. If he keeps coming, I'm out. But I'm going to at least say, hey, I'm letting you know I'm not feeling good about you approaching me. If you don't protect your dog when you're by yourself, oh my goodness, they will react. And it goes back to, do they believe that you will protect them? So it's partially, yes, off, I'll protect you, but it's also, excuse me, sir, walk another way. Go another way. You know, I mean, you gotta let them know, hey, my dog's in training. I need to protect my dog at all costs. All right, this is little Tony Stark over here. Come on, guys. Come on. Baby Groot, gotta be okay. But you have to let the dog know I've got you, and you gotta let the human know what you expect. Otherwise, if you're on a walk and you see another dog coming at you, 10 out of 10 times, they're walking like this.
Yeah.
My dog's friendly. My dog's friendly. Dog reacting. Why would you walk your dog in public? Ugh.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting people like you to enter into the situation. But the truth is, we all need to expect it. Yeah. Now you need to know what to do when you see it to prevent the reaction. Prevention versus correction. All day long.
And then maybe just sit him, if they're coming down the path, they're not necessarily being reactive. Maybe just putting him in the sit at that point and letting them go by?
Letting them go by, what I would also recommend is if you're on the pathway and the dog's like reacting, so get to the end of your leash. I'm gonna hold this here just so the dog doesn't move. Sit. Sit. All right, so let's just say your dog is yap, 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 trying to bite at me, right?
Right.
You walk away, now say come.
Come.
Now the dog's focused on coming to you, and it doesn't care about yapping at me anymore. Okay. But the same way, when we first train your dogs, we put a 15-foot leash on your dog. We have to find their number with the e-collar, where when I let your dog get to the end of the 15-foot leash, I can press the button once and your dog runs and comes to us. So the first thing that we do, so that way when we train your dog, I don't have to hold the leash. I can just start walking your dog and go button, and the dog will stick to me. And we literally are teaching the dog with the e-collar that the button means connect the magnet. It means give me your attention and focus. So the e-collar is wonderful if you're using it that way, but you can always not pull the dog away from the threshold, separate yourself, and then go, let's go, come, we're walking this way. And you're just getting your dog's attention. The other reason a lot of times your dog reacts is because you are part of the equation. You're very close, you're anxious, we're going, oh my God, somebody's coming, I'm feeling insecure. You guys have all been to a group class where an off-leash dog has approached us, right? Do you ever see me get anxious or insecure or nervous when that happens? Or do you immediately see me go, I got this? If you don't immediately go, I've got this, right? That instinct to go in, Steve Rogers. I get a lot of Avengers references right now. I'm all end-gamed up right now, but if you're not gonna jump on the grenade and your dog doesn't believe that you would jump on the grenade for them, they're gonna go jump on the grenade. That's what it's in the dog's DNA. That's why they do military dogs, because they do want to make sure that the owners feel safe and secure. Man's best friend for a reason. But you guys need to immediately, if you see somebody, hey, off, let's go, come on, I don't have time for this. Let's walk over here, sit. Now I'm gonna separate and get in between, but you have to embody it and immediately have that sense of, I've got this and I'm gonna take control. I know for a fact when you see it, there's a little panic, vulnerability, and you're like, oh my God, I gotta get ready for the explosion. I don't want you guys mentally preparing for what to do when the world ends. I want you to prevent it. And if you can do that, your dog will thank you and just be totally relaxed. So it's just see the threat and immediately make your brain go, I got this, off, down, we're good. I'm gonna actually say hello to that dog. But really embody it. Seems like that really is the theme of the day. You got to embody the Secret Service. The homework is make your dog believe it. You know? Play around. If you want to be the source of entertainment, you need to have the dog on place. And when you get home, the dog cannot get off a place for the first 15 minutes. It's your job to prevent Bailey from getting to him for 15 minutes. He needs to shower, brush his teeth, go to the bathroom, get a beer, a water, whatever, and then he can say hello to Bailey when Bailey is on place. Now if Bailey's been on place for 15 minutes, he goes over and goes, yep, Daddy's home, I love you. The dog just got rewarded and had an opportunity to learn something new. And it's like, this is great. I just lay here, Dad'll come over eventually and lay down and pet me.
Which is exactly what she does when I walk in. I walk in an apartment and she stays where she's at. She's in her crate or on the floor and she just lays there and she knows that I'll walk up to her when I'm ready to take her down.
So let's help Dad out now. We got to help him out because you actually are at an advantage to help him at because you're home. And the dog just has that bond with you, but you got to have it even. Otherwise, it'll start just becoming this like, well, you're good, you walk the dog. I want him walking the dog, controlling it, right?
Yeah, I always have her when we go out.
Are you coming paddleboarding this weekend?
Probably.
You do it. Like you control the dog and paddleboard, you just come for fun, maybe another dog will jump on your board. But
Anything on the couch, she wants her to cuddle with him.
the dog wants to cuddle with you on the couch.
The dog cuddle with her,
But you're the source of affection, so it knows I can get it.
If it's me, she'll come. If it's just me, she comes to me. But if he's home, then she's like, oh, he's not here normally. Like, I'm gonna go over here.
So whatever your dog is choosing right now, do the opposite. If your dog is creating a pattern in your house that it's creating and in control of, you better switch it up immediately. If your dog only likes to do certain things its way, a lot of people say, my dog doesn't really like its food, it wants a different type of food. Your dog is fine. It just is telling you right now, I know if I don't eat dinner, you'll buy me a new bag of something different tomorrow. They know how to manipulate us. They know it. So my dog at 10 o'clock at night will look at me like it didn't get fed its entire life. My dog's like 15 pounds overweight, and it still gives me the look like you could feed me more, right? So they will manipulate us. We want to make sure that they're focused on us. I would pull your dog back Like I would come over here just so it doesn't happen to knock anything on that table.
I was standing in the shade.
You can ask me as many questions you want. I got nothing going on today.
So in our apartment complex, there's apartments that have the gate that they have a patio, and there's a lot of people who have dogs on those patios, and she has started lately to get nervous when she walks by them, and she'll react because there's bigger dogs that come in and they
Makes sense.
throw their heads underneath the gate. Yeah, she starts pulling, she starts barking, and all of the off and trying to prevent it, she still just gets super anxious going.
How well do you know those dogs in terms of what their reactivity level is?
Most of the ones that are doing it are not ones that she normally sees.
Are any of the dogs aggressive where if they got face to face they'd bite?
Yeah, they probably
They
would
don't
be.
bring, these dogs, they don't bring out.
Okay. The reason I'm saying that is I would almost walk the dog with a 15-foot leash up and back.
Okay.
Like if I was doing a lesson with you,
Yeah.
he goes, there's a kid and there's geese and I need to go run after them. So what I would say is I would spend 30 minutes walking up and back and just teaching the dog off as a distraction. It's almost like going to the dog park and walking around it knowing that the dogs are gonna run up to your dog and you're gonna have a reactive dog, but it's like the most cute. I'm slowing it down so I can't get in trouble for this, right?
Yeah.
So ridiculous. But I would just use it.
Okay.
Anything that your dog doesn't like is just a distraction you got to help them with. The dogs don't even like paddleboarding for the most part the first time, but about 15 minutes in, you'll see they like start to get curious and get to the end of the board and they're like, I understand what we're doing now, but they need the clarity. Clarity is huge. Any other questions?
Okay.
She was saying at the beginning of group class, they had an incident at the house. She was 10 seconds too late ending the socialization that was happening. They were spending how much time together, did you say?
40 minutes.
So the two dogs in the house were playing for 45 minutes. Had she stopped them at 40 minutes, no dog fight. 45 minutes, actually let's say 44 and 50 seconds, dog fight. Wow. He's got the right idea. That's how you sled all year round. But it's knowing your limitations and it's knowing, you know what, I'm gonna let you two say hello. Let's just say this, you got a wife, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you right now, if your wife was here, let's just go with a scenario, you're saying hello to her, she's gonna let you go, I'll let you talk for like a second, but guess what? I'm gonna control how long my husband talks to this beautiful woman. I'm gonna go, hey, come on, let's walk over here. She's gonna control it versus allowing you to continue the conversation for as long as you want, and then we know what happens from too many husbands socializing with women. So same thing, don't let these dogs, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Now 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and at 45, now it's like, hey, I wasn't ready for that. Hey, no motel room, I'm not doing it. Same thing, stop it, control it immediately, and that way the dogs never get to explode, and then you're just a perfect husband, and you can say hello to everybody because you know that you're only allowed to go, hey, how's it going? That's my wife over there, ain't she beautiful? I love her, married 25 years. Now I'm gonna go say hello to this woman. Hey, how's it going? By the way, that's my wife over there. I don't know if you've seen her, she's beautiful. I'm gonna say hello to everybody. That's my wife over there. Now you know how to socialize and the timing. Same thing, the dog needs to know, I can say hello for 5 seconds, then I gotta go back to my wife, because that's the type of husband I am. Same thing, it's just dynamics, right? That was a fun little explanation. You would think I'm married or something. Any other questions? You've been quiet.
Yeah, how do I, like, since she does have the one eye, how do I make her see the little dog coming by? Or I can't, like, force her to look that way, can I? Or just be like...
Go stand on the other side of your dog real quick. Come forward a little bit. Tell the dog down.
Yeah.
So by changing where you move, your dog now changed its focus. Over here, it has an eye. So you kind of need to have it angled so it can see what's happening over here. See how it can see me? The second I come right here, it can see me now. So just know that, like, you have to kind of play to the dog's one good eye. So that way the dog knows, got it. So like, I need to be over here versus if you were standing right here, now the dog has nothing over here to help it see. So I would stand on the left of your dog versus on the right of your dog, because right now, this is typically where that distraction came in. They came right here. The dog's trying to compensate for the fact that it can't see, so it's looking here, and then it'll trigger. And that's when that startling comes. So it's just knowing I kind of need to like have the dog focused on me. Yeah. That way it can see the full picture. So it's just kind of noticing where your body is will help the dog focus more.
Okay.
And if your body's over here, the dog has nothing over here.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all we want.
So when I'm walking, should I be on the left side of her?
See how I startled the dog even from this side? Sorry.
So when I'm taking her for a walk, I usually walk on this side so she can see my leg.
Switch it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, cutie. Oh. Let's see what happens if I come over here this time. Wait for it to lay down. Stay down.
Yeah.
Easier. This is the angle of approach. Oh, look at you. God, I want to take you home. You're so cute. You're so cute. Yeah. Look at that face. Oh my goodness. It's just playing to your strengths.
Anything else? Yeah. For the pool, we can just keep doing off and sit down with her. For the pool, really excited. One, you can always back tie the dog. So that way you're not feeling like I'm constantly part of this. Just back tie the dog, put a place in your area, and maybe help the dog get to place. I would use an actual place. Riley, Holly's dog, freaks out when the kids, her nephews, like jump in the pool and have the kickboards and they're splashing around. And the distraction's obviously a lot higher than just, the kids went and sat in the hot tub and they were totally relaxed. And she was like, look, she's fine now. And I said, but look at the kids. You don't even notice. They're sitting there. They're just quiet. A minute ago, they were having like a crazy war in the pool, right? So your dog, A, will panic. I just watched the video of a Rottweiler save another dog that was on a boat by jumping into the water, grabbing the rope, and pulling the boat to shore. Dogs freak out when they see other dogs in water or panicking or anything. This past Saturday, one of the dogs fell in, and one of the other dogs went, do I need to save it? And like literally started like getting anxious. So there's a level of your dog is actually concerned with what's happening to the kids in the pool. There's a level of the dog is reactive to that. And what we need to do is let Bailey know the kids are okay. This is just playing in the pool. You can actually tan on place and everything will be just fine. But we have to help the dog relax and get to that state of mind. Otherwise, those instinctual, impulsive, primitive reactions 100% come to surface. And we see that a lot with water activities.
I think we need to do it when there's less people there, because some of his siblings were like, she's barking, she's barking. It was like, she has to work through it. Like, I'm trying.
Start with one person, you know. Maybe you go in and start splashing around.
It was moving day. She'd been there the day before and she was okay. Like, she was doing it, but not as much. And then when there were more people, she's like, no, everyone's here.
So hopefully you guys are all hearing this. The dog's okay when there's less, and now that there is more, my dog doesn't like it. Believe me, if I started clapping, the dog might be okay with it. If I said, everybody, let's get crazy, you're gonna start to see something. One person in a pool versus a pool party, totally different. You know? Back tie, place, 15 minutes when you get home that she can't get to him. You know, little adjustments inside the house. Cool. Any other questions? Thanks so much for coming out, guys. If you guys want to hang out for a little bit, I'll be here. I would come grab a business card for sure. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram and everything. And other than that, it was a pleasure working with you guys this weekend. I'll see you guys next weekend or the following, or whenever I see you guys again. And blue is done.